Hello, hello, hello. We're live. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm coming through. Hope everybody's okay. And as you can probably tell, this week I'm on the banjo. You can't have it all your own way. Let's just see what's going on there. Yeah. Am I coming through? Speak. See what's going on there. Right, okay, I'm coming through. Right, so as I say, this week it's banjo. I'm going to do some comedy songs this week. I've wrote most of these songs. Some of them are generic, but or traditional. One or two traditional sort of songs, or songs that other people have wrote. Some of them I've bastardized. But yeah, so comedy songs. That's what I'm going to do this week. And the banjo lends itself perfectly to that, as it always does. So this first song is a song all about Facebook, or about joining Facebook. When I first joined Facebook, I didn't have a clue. Didn't know what the bloody hell was going on with it. But everybody said, "Oh, you're not on Facebook?" I said, "No. What's it all about?" And they said, "Oh, you make friends and you get to know people, and and you can connect with all the people you know and make new friends and what have you." So I thought, well, yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah, okay, I'll have a look at it. I'll give it a go. So I signed up, as you do, put my details in, and then it's like, well, how do I make friends? And I'm looking at other people's that's on the feed, and I'm thinking, oh, they've got 200 friends, they've got 300 friends, they've got 25 friends, and I thought, oh, I'll have to make friends. So I started searching friends, and I clicked on find friends, and then all these names came up. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't. So I started clicking on them. Add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. I sat there all night doing it. Any road. After, must have been about, I don't know, 100 or so friends, I suddenly got a message saying I'd been banned from making friends for 14 days because I was making friends with people I don't know. And I thought, hang on a minute, isn't that what social media is all about, connecting with people? So I got banned. So, being a singer-songwriter, I wrote a song about it, as I do. And this is called Just a Friend, in brackets, the Facebook song. I hope I'll be coming through and you can hear my voice over this banjo because it's quite loud. I've been a friend on Facebook for a while, and the comments and the photos make me smile, and it's good to follow trends that people show, but don't try to make a friend that you don't know. I'm not a social stalker on the net. Well, I'm just a friend you ain't already met, and I'd really like to add you as a friend, but Facebook wants to bring this to an end. I always thought that Facebook was a place to know people you don't meet face to face. You could get to know them all online, people you could talk to all the time. I'm not a social stalker on the net. Well, I'm just a friend you ain't already met, and I'd really like to add you as a friend, but Facebook wants to bring this to an end. There's one thing that you all must understand. It's a lesson that I had to learn firsthand, to know the silly rules when you begin, 'cause making friends you don't know is a sin. I'm not a social stalker on the net. Well, I'm just a friend you ain't already met, and I'd really like to add you as a friend, but Facebook wants to bring this to an end. been banned from making friends for 14 days. And I've had to learn the error of my ways. But if Facebook does not want me as a friend, I'll have to bring my profile to an end. I'm not a social stalker on the net. You know, I'm just a friend you ain't already met. And I'd really like to add you as a friend. But Facebook wants to bring this to an end. I'm not a social stalker on the net. Well, I'm just a friend you ain't already met. And I'd really like to add you as a friend. But Facebook wants to state it to an end. I said Facebook wants to bring this to an end. I said that Facebook wants to bring this to an end. There you go. Just a Friend, the Facebook song. Just wet the whistle. And I wonder if there's anybody in yet. Doesn't look like I'm reaching anybody yet, but who knows? Let's just check on the phone, because the phone is easier to use than the computer is. Oh, our Sue's watching. Hiya, Sue. That's my sister. Hope everything's going well. This song is a traditional song. I suppose you could call it traditional in the sense of folk music, in that this song is a very old song, and it's what you call a rugby song. There's a tradition with rugby players and rugby clubs to have to have funny songs and funny jokes and that kind of thing. It's all a bit what you call bawdy or near the knuckle, close to the bone, I suppose you could say, if you get me drift. And so yes, this is I've cleaned this up slightly because, well, I've cleaned up a lot because otherwise it wouldn't be broadcastable to the general public without some sort of backlash from at least the censorship body, which now seems to be becoming a thing. I shared a thing before on Facebook, in that there's an act coming in, and this act is basically an online censorship act, which means that that there's going to be a body of people who are going to sit, and whatever you say, they're going to remove it if they don't agree with it, if they think it's wrong or it's maybe not true or whatever. And so the thing is, basically, it's the end of free speech online as far as everybody's concerned. Now, this is the kind of thing that's creeping in. It's always been my personal opinion that whatever you say, whatever words you use, whatever you say, it's up to the individual to decide whether or not they are willing to say those words. And if you say a word which is an offensive, then you're free to say it. The downside to being free to say it is, of course, that you have to, take the consequences. So if you call someone a dickhead and you get punched in the face, well then, there you go. It's up to you. But you had the choice. You could have been civil in your debate, or you could have called him a dickhead. If you call him a dickhead, he might punch you in the face. On the other hand, if you punch him in the face, well then, the consequences with that, because you could get arrested for assault. So the thing is, at least if we have the freedom to do so, in my opinion, then you live with the consequences. But I don't think that's what they want. I think what they want is to shut us all up, so we just stay in the house, say nothing, go nowhere, and we're all in bed by 7 o'clock. That's what they'd have if they had their way. In a road. Back to the lobster song. This is all about lobsters. And as long as I don't slip up with the words, we should be okay. Otherwise, I might be knocking down my door. Oh, Mr. Fisherman, tell me please, have you a lobster you can sell to me? Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you go when he's dangling in the dust. Well, yes sir, I have two, and the biggest of the bastards I will sell to you. Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. I cleaned that one up. Well, I took it home and I never had a dish, so I put it where the missus usually has a piss. Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Now early in the morning, as you well know, a woman rises early to let the water flow. Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Well, the missy gave a wheeze and the missy gave a grunt, and there's a bloody lobster hanging by her leg. See? Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Well, we hit it on the head and we hit it on the side, and we hit the bloody lobster till the bastard died. Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Well, the moral of the story, the moral is this: always have a shofty before you have a piss. Singing oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Oh tiddly-o, shit or bust, never let you ding-dong dangle in the dust. Now, that was the cleanest version I could do of that. I had to take a few lines out because I just couldn't do them. But there you go. So, there you go, the lobster song. An old rugby song, that. We used to, well, many years ago, I learned that and a few other rugby songs off by heart. When I was young, from about the age of, I was actually 12. I was actually too young. You had to be 13 at the time to join the Army Cadets, and I was in the Army Cadets. And when I joined the Army Cadets, I was keen on it. I was dead keen, and I had the Action Man as a kid and all that lot. And the next thing you know, I wanted to join the Army Cadets. So I joined the Army Cadets, and I didn't get my uniform until I was 13. I could go there up to my 13th, but it was only 2 or 3 months before my 13th birthday. And then I could get my uniform, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And we got a uniform. We even trained with the Lee Enfield Mark IV 303 rifle, proper rifles. We fired live rounds. We was only teenagers. We used to go away every fortnight and fire live rounds at the ranges, and I become a marksman. I got my marksman badge. I then became a lance corporal, then a corporal, and I was the youngest person in the country to do the sergeant's cadre before I was 16. I should have been 16 to do it, but they said, "Oh, you're that far ahead. Go and do it. Get the experience, and then when you're old enough, you can go back and do it again." And so I went and did the sergeant's cadre. I did everything. I fired a Browning. This is before I was 16 years of age. I'd fired a Browning 9mm, a Lee Enfield 303, an SLR, an SMG, which is a submachine gun, and a GPMG, which is a great big Rambo type machine gun. That 50 cal that you see them firing off the jeeps and that. And I even threw a grenade and got to fire a Carl Gustaf, which is an anti-tank, the tube thing. It was unbelievable. Brilliant days. I learned loads and loads of things in the Army Cadets. But on the coaches, going to and from the camps, we used to go camps at least, it was about every 2 months we did a weekend camp, and once a year we did an annual weeks camp. And on the coaches, of course, you know, you got a pile of young lads, you know, the testosterone's pumping and everybody's, you know, full of themselves. And we used to sing these songs, and, you know, the air was blue. But what a time. I would advise anybody, any young man, to give it a go, because you get out abseiling, rock climbing. We did the lock canoeing. We did everything, and we did all the military stuff. We did all the map reading, orienteering. We did a lot. It was a fantastic time. I really enjoyed it. I was that far from joining up to the army, and the only reason I didn't is because I'd already done everything. I didn't see the point in doing everything again in basic training. I'd done it all. But there you go. Might have been a different life. But that's where all the rugby songs come from. Now, this next song is all about a local place, local to me. It's only literally about 500 yards that way. And it's not there anymore, but it used to be there. And it was locally known as the Kingston Stink. Now, the Kingston Stink was Smith's Boneyard. And what Smith's Boneyard used to do is they had great big wagons, and they used to ride round all the butchers back in the day when we had butchers on every corner. And they used to collect all the old bones, and they used to grind the bones down, and they used to boil the bones and make glue and fertilizer with it. And so it was a big thing, and there was loads and loads, you know, there's loads of bones. Every butcher was throwing out bones with bits of meat on, and the smell was absolutely staggering. Absolutely staggering. I mean, it literally made your bleeding eyes water when you walked past a place. And it was, what's it called? It was a smelly place. But back in the day, we didn't have much of rules, environmental rules, to say you couldn't have a factory doing that. It was as simple as that. It was just the way it was back in the day. And so it ended up that eventually the EU came in, and they said, well, you know, you can't have this smell anymore. You've got to put filters into your factory. And so there was a fella that was always complaining, lived very near, and he was always complaining about Smith's Boneyard and the smell. And eventually the EU people came round, they brought the meters round, they said, oh, bleeding hell, you know, you can cut this air with a knife. So They said, you've got to spend 250 grand on the filters for the factory. To which they ended up, in order to carry on with us being in the EU, they had to do this. So they did it. And it didn't stop the smell. So eventually, they decided to sell up. So the old fella sold the boneyard, and they built houses on it, pulled it down and built houses on it. But here's the thing. The smell was still there. Because what people didn't realise is behind the boneyard was the sewage works. And so the smell was still there afterwards. But there you go. So that's the story of this song that I wrote. And it's called Down at the Kingston Stink. Just outside of Hightown Centre, something hits you as you enter. It's a smell they can't prevent, down at the Kingston Stink. Horse's head and rotting meat, the pungent smell of cheesy feet. Boneyard smell is not so sweet, down at the Kingston Stink. Down at the Kingston Stink, it's stronger than you think. Those maggots turn to flies, bringing water to your eyes. Down at the old boneyard makes breathing kind of hard. The only thing you do is stand up wind. Anytime you're passing through, just hold your breath until you're blue. Past the place they make the glue, down at the Kingston Stink. Smells just like the depths of hell. Can't get rid of that awful smell. Up your nostrils it will dwell, down at the Kingston Stink. down at the Kingston stink. Well, it's stronger than you think. Those maggots turn to flies, bringing water to your eyes. Down at the old boneyard, it makes breathing kind of hard. And the best that you can do is stand upwind. For a mile or two each way, it almost takes your breath away. Couldn't keep those flies away down at the Kingston stink. Payday at the end of the week, take home all that you can eat. Work at the boneyard is a treat down at the Kingston stink. Down at the Kingston stink, well, it's stronger than you think. Those maggots turn to flies, bringing water to your eyes. Thanks to the old boneyard, it makes breathing kind of hard. The best that you can do is stand downwind. Just outside of Hyde Town Centre, something hits you as you enter. It's a smell they can't prevent her, down at the Kingston. There you go, down at the Kingston stink, and you now know the reason why I wrote that song. Of course, now it doesn't smell. Now it smells sweet. All you can smell is the flowers and the trees now. So, this next song, it's a sensitive song, this song, because Ed Sheeran was dragged into court in America by the family of Marvin Gaye because they said that one of his songs was plagiarizing one of Marvin Gaye's songs. And so all the lawyers got together and they got an injunction and held back. Now, just bear this in mind for a minute. You know, everybody's struggling to buy cream crackers for £2.20 a pack, and you know, and your tomato sauce is £4.50 a bottle, and everybody's struggling, you know, in today. But here's the thing: just bear this in mind. Ed Sheeran had a court order in America that held back the money that he'd made off this particular record. Thinking Out Loud, I think it was. And so the sum that was held back in his bank account was 84 million. 84 million. And you think, how the bleeding hell does anybody earn 84 million in this day and age from selling music? Because nobody buys it. Everybody streams it or pirates it. Nobody buys it, you know. But if they did want to buy it, well, then what they could do is they could contact me on Messenger and they could buy my CD. And it's only £7 of your English pounds. And all you've got to do is message me, and then what'll happen is I'll send you the CD and a DVD free of charge and post it anywhere in the world. Now, I won't earn 84 million off it. I might be lucky to cover my costs, but at least it'll help to pay for all the equipment that I need to do the live stream. But there you go. So, £84 million. And this is the thing. I was reading about it's a website that tells you who earns what on YouTube. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find all of my my various live streams and other music videos on there. And if you could please subscribe, that would help great with the algorithms, because the more people that watch, the more people see. And all you got to do is go to GJ Armstrong, put in GJ Armstrong in YouTube, and away you go. You'll see my my site there, my channel, and it would help greatly. So if you could. But on this site, it tells you who earns what. And Ed Sheeran he's in the first page. He's not the top earner. Actually, one of the top channels, which makes most of the money, is a Bollywood channel. But Ed Sheeran right? He has 30 point something million subscribers worldwide. And here's the thing, he earns, on average, anywhere between 249 and 715,000 pounds a month. That's how he's making money on YouTube. So it just shows you. Now, I think I've got about 106 subscribers, so I don't make a brass farthing yet. But if you go there and you subscribe, you might help me get there one day. Who knows? Any road. So he was in court, and they found him. The judge ruled for him and against the claim. So basically, they said he wasn't plagiarising it because there's only 8 octaves on the keyboard. You know, there's only 12 notes in an octave, and so there's only so many songs you can do, say in 12-bar blues or any chord progression. They've all been done. Every chord progression has been done. And if it hasn't been done, it's because it doesn't work. So the thing is, it's got to flow, you know, it's got to... So each chord has to correspond with the root chord of your song when you're writing. So the plagiarism thing is really a nonsense because, you know, if 12-bar blues, there's millions of songs in 12-bar blues. So I wrote this song, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because when I wrote this song, I thought maybe it sounds like something else. But I don't think it does. But you have to be the judge. You have to say whether or not it reminds you of everything, of anything. Because I don't want to go to court for plagiarism, and I don't think I have. But you tell me, you be the judge. You can be judge and jury today. Today's gonna be the day that I'm gonna make a brew for you. By now you should have realized that I'm gonna make it with typhoon. I don't believe that anybody makes a cup of tea the way I do. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire on the stove is out. And I'm sure you lit a stove before, be sure to put a candle out. Cause I don't believe that anybody makes a cup of tea the way I do. And all the tea brewed in the pot, I'm finding that all the flavor from the leaves are blinding. There's so many flavored teas that I would like to try, but I don't know how. And maybe we're gonna have a hobnob baby. So there you go. That's called Eat Them All. And of course, I don't think it sounds like anything remotely like anything else. I think it's a totally original tune. But there you go. You be the judge and the jury and you decide. So, this next one, this next song is a song I wrote, and God knows where it came from. But I wrote this song, and I like to think of this, when I do gigs, I sing this and get people singing along to it, believe it or not. And they do sing along to it. And this is an advice song. This is there's certain kinds of songs. There's love songs. There's train songs. There's prison songs, and there's advice songs. And this is an advice song for all you young people out there that might be thinking of indulging in what the content of this song is all about. And if you do, don't do what you're tempted to do, because it won't be good. And this is called Foreign Objects. My dear father said to me, nothing in this life is free, and never trust a man who dislikes dogs. He gave me these words of wisdom. It's a mental immune system. Some were short and some were monologues. In this world of bad temptation, drinks and drugs and masturbation, there's one thing that you must never do. Don't put foreign objects up your bum, even if you think it could be fun. Nothing good was ever gained except embarrassment and pain. Don't put foreign objects up your bum. Consider this the golden rule, a lesson never taught in school, but it should be on the curriculum. Let that bad idea pass to stick an object up your ass, not even a finger or a thumb. And in this world of bad temptation, drinks and drugs and masturbation, there's one thing you must never do. Don't put foreign objects up your bum, even if you think it could be fun. 'Cause nothing good was ever gained except embarrassment and pain. No, don't put foreign objects up your bum. Well, you'll be sitting awkwardly in the nearest A&E, hoping that the doctor understands that it was an accident and you're no sexual deviant. Let's hope he's got a steady hand. And in this world of bad temptation, drinks and drugs and masturbation, there's one thing you must never do. Objects up your bum, even if you think it could be fun. Sing along if you want. 'Cause nothing good was ever gained except embarrassment and pain. But don't put foreign objects up your bum. No, don't put foreign objects up your bum, even if you think it could be fun. 'Cause nothing good was ever gained except embarrassment and pain. Don't put foreign objects up your bum. So the moral to this song, one thing that is clearly wrong, some things don't belong inside oneself. Ob de jar, put up the rear, the outcome only ends in tears. Leave that foreign object on the shelf. World is full of bad temptation, drinks and drugs and masturbation. There's one thing you must never do. Don't put foreign objects up your bum, even if you think it could be fun. 'Cause nothing good was ever gained except embarrassment and your bum. There you go. Don't put foreign objects up your bum, people. Remember that foreign objects should remain on the shelf and not up your anus. And well, I'll tell you how that song came about. Actually, a person who I know, who is a nurse, who shall remain nameless, once told me of a story of that is quite common in A&E, in our accident and emergency, which is people coming in with things stuck up the back passage, up their anus. And apparently, the story goes that the word spread amongst the nursing staff that some young man had come in with an apple stuck up his anus. And this was many years ago, when they didn't have cubicles, separate cubicles. They just had them curtains in between. And so the doctor came in with a clipboard and a pen, and he said, "I've got to ask you these questions by law. So, how did you get an apple up your backside?" And the lad said, "Well, what happened? I was doing the hoovering in the nude, and I fell back on an occasional table, and there was a fruit bowl on the table, and he landed on the fruit bowl and inadvertently injected an apple up his backside." And of course, all the nurses were on the other side of the screen listening and trying not to laugh. Of course, it was a load of crap, but there you go. But that was how it came about, was from that song, because there's so many people come in with. There's actually there's a show that is it Accident and Emergency or Hospitals or something, like the documentary on, and they had a nurse there, and there was a lad come in with a toilet brush stuck up his backside, and apparently he said he fell off the toilet. And we believe him, don't we? So, we've come to the end of this week's show. And I've got to be honest, every week, now this is a 60-second show that I've done, and every week I'm thinking to myself, what should I play this week? Because, I'm trying to vary it. I'm trying to do different things because I don't want it to get boring. But the thing is, this is what I do. And so I think to myself, should I do another one? Or should I give it a rest for a bit? But as soon as I switch on, I'm enjoying it like now. And I don't really want to bring it to an end, but I have to bring it to an end because otherwise I'll be here all bloody night. But so Thursday, 8 o'clock, every week, same spot on the dial. I'll be here on live from GJ's house. And you're welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, as I say, all my shows are put onto YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, and I forget to say this, but please subscribe. That's probably why I got no bloody subscribers. Please subscribe, please like, please comment. Tell me if you like or dislike the songs. Tell me if you got any ideas. If you want me to do other things, then just put it in the comments. It'll be great to actually imagine that there's somebody watching me instead of just talking to myself. Anyway, so until next week, adios. Adios, my friends. It's time for me to go. It's been a blast to see you all. And since we met and we first said hello, but now goodbye. And the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios. just flow gently to the sea, the open sea. And the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. I sang a song or two, and I played this old banjo, and I hope the words I've sang have touched your hearts. One day I will come back and play for you. And the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. I said the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios, adios, adios. Till next week, adios, people.